Dean Steeler has been fucking with us for 2 damn weeks now? Why would you do that? We were panicking for 2 damn weeks trying to figure you out.
I thought it was funny. That's why I did it.
And was it? Was it worth giving us a heart attack?
Oh yeah, it was very worth it. And I'd do it again too.
You know what? Yeah, it actually was kind of funny, especially given how freaked out we were, though I am curious about how you were doing that ship thing outside.
Ship thing? What are you talking about?
The ships outside, making a giant ring and sparking about? You don't know anything about that?
No clue at all.
Well, shit. What, do you have any ideas?
A few ideas. Could be Brother Aelor, our primary tech marine, and he's a bit artsy. Another possible answer is Ghoul-Star freakishness, which is pretty common. We've been getting some Xeno communications recently, mostly screams of terror, which makes me happy.
Yeah, those screams help me sleep too. It's nice. But I guess that's another mystery we'll have to figure out in the future. Darren, what should we talk about today?
How about films or a movie or something?
Yeah, I think I can do that. How about, what about the Disney paradox? That's been happening a lot nowadays.
Disney paradox? Who's Disney?
Walt Disney, a guy who's been dead for a very long time and really started the animation film industry. Those who took over his company after his death have pretty well screwed over the film industry on a fundamental level. But Disney started his company with a love for animation, cartoons, and classical stories, though all the films he made were changed to better fit a theater film. For example, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, originally released in 1937. It's widely considered the first feature-length animated film. I don't think that's actually true, but it's widely called such. Now, what's the paradox? Nowadays, you'll see the company looking towards the loudest group and assume they're the majority, which isn't true, but appeals to them in order to try and guarantee money. In an attempt to make as much money as possible, they vilify a huge portion of the world. In an attempt to appease those they vilified, the group they originally spoke with and for realizes the company doesn't care anymore, if they cared at all. So now Disney's sitting there with less and less people giving them any time of day. They're still making bank, but not near as much as they'd like, and they've been losing a lot of money on certain franchises. So how do they try to recover this loss? Appeal to nostalgia. Remakes and reimaginings of films that people grew up. Snow White, for example, was remade and rewritten to, quote, appeal to a modern audience, unquote, which brings a few issues there. Let's ignore the original story of the Germanic tale. Let's just take the 1937 cartoon into the equation. So, what's wrong with the original that could be improved upon? I don't know. I can't think of anything. Well, except maybe Doc not being based on an emotion, but several dwarves were not. Sneezy and Dopey, for example. So, what did Disney do? Make one for one a remake? No! They decided to change literally everything about the film and draw attention to it too. Change the race of the German woman from the 19th century, removing the dwarves and making them into some robbers, changing the story from a girl being hunted by jealousy to a story of a girl fighting jealousy, no Prince Charming rescuing her from the clutches of death, no dwarves avenging the wrongful smiting of her soul. These few things change a lot of the story. The story of men needing a soft hand to guide them, the story that strength of a man is needed to protect, the story that jealousy controlling one is dangerous, all of that is removed. it's no longer in the story of the new Snow White. So, in an attempt to make it better, they removed much of it. We can also look at Lilo and Stitch remake. They changed the bad guy from a giant shark whale alien thingy to Jumba, who's everyone's favorite uncle. Don't give him a character growth at all, and major message of the movie was ripped away. Family comes first. Family is important. Family is the greatest thing one has. And the remake says to throw family out for your own desires. Abandon the love and security of family for the favor of personal wants. Of course, then there's the issue of the use of people instead of animation. Animation allows unlimited possibilities, but the human body and physics prevent many things. Hell, the Lion King remake showed that trying to make animals realistic is impossible to make satisfying, as animals can't move in ways to express emotions the way we as people would recognize. Pointing out here that dogs are starting to develop eyebrows, which is an interesting evolutionary path. But there's another path that Disney has been taking to try and make back their lost money, and it's been the worst decision they made. Buy companies and use their properties. They bought 20th Century Fox to use their properties, and they're doing better than Sony is, but they've not been doing much. Hell, Disney bought LucasArts, and how much money did they spend and make on it? Well, they spent $4.05 billion in 2012. And when did they finally profit? Well, still waiting on that, because last year reports said they made $12 billion from Star Wars alone. That doesn't disclose that there is a further cost involved in such. Disney needs to pay for writers, actors, directors, crew of several kinds, marketing, testing, servers for their online services and websites, property taxes, employees, construction products, and even more, just in that section of their business. So, if they're actually profiting, I don't know. I could probably find the answer if I dug for it, but I really don't care enough. Disney is losing money, but in their money losses, they're not making a negative profit. They're just not making the money that they want. They're still profiting. They'll probably continue to profit, but they've also shown their colors. They're a company built on joy, but now tempered with greed. They change stories to try and make as much money as possible, and now they bastardize and punish good actors in order to appease sources of money, like what they did to John Boyega because China doesn't like black people. Disney will very likely change their path again in order to appease the changing demographics. They have announced they're trying to make a Christian film with Christianity booming in growth around the world. So we'll see how they do. Now, shove off.